That was the mushroom butter whack. And this is a great little snack. Mushroom toast with a fried egg.
Freedom!
So fresh, so new.
Freedom!
It's all for you.
All for you. Freedom!
Keep your ear to the ground.
Talking about the freedom!
It's the best show in town.
Let's show you that freedom! Well.
So you can use whatever mushrooms you want. I started chopping mushrooms before I was dancing. These are some brown mushrooms. You can use white mushrooms. You could use shiitake mushrooms, oyster mushrooms, whatever mushrooms that you have lying around is really good. And mushrooms are pretty picky because they like to be cooked quickly and they like to be cooked very hot. So a smoking hot pan and a good dredge of oil, because mushrooms are like sponges and they like to soak up fat. So in to a nice hot pan, you want to hear a really good sizzle like that. And when you get the mushrooms in, that's the time to freeze. You just want to let them develop a little bit of color. So don't touch them when they begin. Just let them sit in there and develop a nice crust. And then mushrooms are like super good friends. They go way back. They're in the high school yearbook together with onions and garlic. It doesn't matter what onion that you have. I'm using red onion because that's what I got lying around. But you can use a white onion or a shallot if you like. And that's a good tip. You know, start the mushrooms first, let them get some color, and then you could go with onions and garlic. And the garlic's super simple. Just give it a few slices. I like the big pieces in there in my mushroom toast. You don't need to use a microplane and beat them up. Just a nice little slice. So this is a really good sound. What's happening here right now is really delicious. And you know, they are like sponges, and you can watch them get brown. And when that's happening, I like to put a little bit of salt in there, and then put the onions and the garlic on the top. Oh, come here. Come here. And then just wait a second, and then when you toss them around, it already smells delicious. And mushrooms really love black pepper too, like fresh, cracked black pepper, and mushrooms and onions and garlic are like fab, man, super fab. Okay, so for the toast, I like the end of a baguette. I always have one, and this is great excuse to make mushroom toast because you just need a little piece. But here's the trick with the bread. Bread loves a lot of fat because when you toast it, it gets really like crunchy and soft. So you kind of want to soak it in oil and a little bit of salt. That's it. Get it into the oven. I like to broil it so it gets really nice and crispy really quickly, and then it stays kind of soft and fudgy. All right, so this is a perfect time to fry an egg. This is really simple. Just a little bit of butter in a nice warm pan. And then as the butter is melting, push it around. I like when the butter kind of gets a little nutty as well. So you can just drop the egg in. And then I like to season the egg right when it goes in. And don't worry about that brown butter. That brown butter is going to add a little nuttiness to it. That's perfect. Okay, these mushrooms are great. Now it's the time that you want to start mixing them around. And my friends, you get mushrooms with like little brown bits in it. And the pan's not full of water because that hot heat has held all the moisture of the mushrooms inside. You're just getting beautiful flavor in the mushrooms. So good. And there's one herb that I use with mushrooms, and that's thyme. You could use rosemary if you want, but I find like the delicate thyme leaves are pretty good with mushrooms because the mushrooms are really nice and woody, and so is the thyme. It kind of mirrors the flavor of the mushrooms, and they just belong together. Thyme, mushrooms, garlic, they're best friends. Chop it up just a little bit, and then when the mushrooms hit that hot pan, it kind of pops like fireworks. And it goes so well with the mushrooms. And then this is really quick. Then to finish your mushrooms, I always finish with a little bit of butter. That's it. And they should be cooked quickly and hot, just like that. You got the salt in there, delicious. The egg cooking away. All right, hopefully I didn't burn it. Okay, that's perfect. Nice piece of toast. It's really crunchy, but it's kind of soft and chewy in the middle. That's the best way to do bread. And then the mushrooms are done. So just to finish them off, I like to put a shot of truffle oil in it. If you don't have truffle oil, don't worry, it's not going to kill the recipe. But I love just a little hint of truffle oil in the mushrooms because it's really nice and like it's dark and deep and earthy. Delicious. Egg looks great. Let's put it together. Really simple. I'm loving this snack because it's got a ton of mushrooms in it. And they're nice and crispy. You see, if you cook them really quickly, just delicious. And I like a lot of mushrooms. So a lot of mushrooms on the toast, a lot of mushrooms on the plate, just kind of mushrooms everywhere. And mushrooms with like the bread because it's half soft and then you get the runny egg yolk in there. It's a bangerang. And this is a great, how you doing, Louise? Good? Just on the lookout. And this is great egg too. When the butter browns a little bit and then you get the crispy whites and the soft yolk, super delish. And then just to finish it, I like a bit of Parmesan cheese on mine. I find the cheese and the mushrooms and the truffle go pretty good together. So you can just hit it with a ton of cheese. And then this is like a trade secret of mine. A shot of balsamic vinegar. The vinegar and the mushrooms go really well together. Makes it look cool. So just a shot of balsamic. And when you dig that through the toast, you get like this big, bright, vibrant burst of acid. And that's delicious. And I love it because how good is a fried egg with a runny yolk on toast with some forest mushrooms and a shot of balsamic and Parmesan? That's a great snack. Make it. Put a smile on your face. This is good for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And you don't have to be David Blaine to make that disappear. All right, bye.
Freedom,
So fresh, so new.
freedom,
It's all for you.
all for you. Freedom,
Keep your ear to the ground.
talking about the freedom.
It's the best show in town.
Let's show you that freedom.
I am not moving until you subscribe. Did you do it? Please? Hello? Hello? Is it me you're looking for? Subscribe. I love you. Did you do it yet?